So hello friends, and welcome back. Not that you've necessarily been anywhere from wherever you may be, and I certainly haven't been anywhere. In fact, though, for the last hour I've been talking and I hadn't pushed the record button, so this is going to be a very short video, because at least I didn't talk about what I had planned or sat down to talk about, which was, I've had a few comments with regards to the last talk about anatta, not self, and its relationship with the five khandhas, or the aggregates, those of bodily, the body, the feelings, the perception, the mental formations and consciousness, and that relationship with what I often mention, the citta, that which knows. And I did plan to sit and talk about that subject, but I started waffling on, having not spoken to anybody since I last recorded that video and spoke to you. So of course, waffle, I talked and talked and talked. Sampapalapa. And mainly, just to sum it up, I was going through my experience over this last few days of being here very much in the practice of solitude, because the Samanera monk, Neem, he's away. The other monk, Sampapalapa monk that I referred to, whom comes and goes, he's not here. So there are just the two Ajahns and myself, and we're deep in the forest practicing in solitude. So it very is that. And just was recounting my experiences of mind and body, really, those five khandhas, as it can be seen so clearly when one is practicing like that in this situation. This is the point of being in this situation. It isn't for everybody, of course, and this practice is for everybody. So when you are in worldly life, living your day-to-day lives of working, socializing, family life, then one can also observe the mind with the practice of mindfulness and eventually see clearly how these emotions of liking and not liking, wanting and not wanting, arise and pass away. You can start to really investigate these, but there's no realer way to experience this than in this very natural state of existence, whereby there is no going out, no distraction, other than what can happen within your own thinking mind. So that's what I waffled on about for nearly an hour, only to get up and see that the screen on the phone was all dark. And I should have noticed that, because I can see now it's all light. I don't see the screen, you see, I'm the other side with looking at the camera. So I should have noticed it had gone off and therefore wasn't recording. So I'm not sure how I describe that feeling. Kind of, I don't think it was a waste of time. I suppose I got a lot off my chest, thinking to you, but probably it was good that it wasn't to anyone. So I thought, well, as the camera's still there, I'll just quickly make some, not announcements, say something by way of a short video to say that the next talk will be about that subject, the khandhas and the citta, or that which knows. And the question that has arisen a few times as a result of that previous talk is, well, if there is that which knows, this citta? Is that not another self? Well, the quick answer is no, and will explain fully why that is. And it's the reason this question arises is because in my explanation of anatta, I don't go into so much detail as to why that is something quite separate, because I didn't really get into the raw ingredients of these khandhas. And these khandhas are what we call aggregates. I don't want to say too much because I'm not sure now whether I'm repeating myself within this recording or whether repeating myself from the last recording, if you can understand where I'm coming from. But the aggregates are what make up, well, yes, I think I have just said that, so I'm not going to say that again. The great thing is that these comments that I receive are really what it's all about. Now, I very much appreciate that if you have subscribed to this channel, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then please do, because well, that just gives me numbers. But what is very important is not the numbers, because viewing numbers, subscription numbers, they don't really mean anything to me. When you look at YouTube, some channels, if it's channels about food or holidays or something like that, there's millions and millions of subscribers and viewers and things like that. Monks sitting in huts, in forests, in solitude, doing nothing, well, it's very few. By comparison. So it's not about that, but what is so very valuable and important is the comments I receive, because then I know that somebody is actually getting something out of it, responding to what I have to say about our teacher's teachings. Whether you're Buddhist or not, these teachings are as a result of real life and life experience, and it's this that I'm sharing with you. And I did share a little bit of that with you in the last video, and maybe I'll share a bit more of it in the next video, but I do want to get on to just going through this idea of the citta, the khandhas, and that will lead on to, because I think it naturally does, what is yet another intellectually provocative subject matter in Buddhism, and that is the 12 points of dependent origination. Dependent origination is basically cause and effect, and the basis behind karma, a kind of detailed explanation. But it isn't, you'll know if you've watched my videos, I'm not an intellectual, I'm not very clever. I'll be talking to you about it in my usual primary school simple way that I can understand. So if I can understand it, so would you. And anyone who wants to make any comments or suggestions, as they have done, which has given me the idea of where to go from here in the next talk, then please do, because that is where I really get some feedback as to how useful or not this channel of what I'm talking about, at least on it, is. So I think for that I'll leave it. It's very short today. I'm sorry about that. There was a long video, perhaps even too long. But you know, these things happen. It's difficult when you've just spoken for an hour to do it again, because you're not sure what you've just said. Have you ever done this? I don't know whether you've ever done this in a supermarket. You've gone round and done the shopping, and for some reason you've had to abandon the shopping, you didn't have the means to pay or something like this, so you've gone away and you've come back and you've had to do it all over again. Well, of course you go back with half of the stuff missing or whatever, because you think you've done it once and you've forgotten to put some things in, or you don't put some things in. If you have ever had that experience, well, it's the same. So I don't want to do that. So I'll keep it short for now. I just wanted to let you know I'm still here, and I will be talking to you very soon to just talk about what I just said. So good. Hope you're all well, and look forward to talking to you again soon. Goodbye.